Dr. Benjamin Franklin was born in the early 18th century. Franklin would start at a young age to make significant contributions to the colonial society of North America. Benjamin Franklin would apprentice with his brother James in the printing business until he was 17 years old. He would learn a lot from his apprenticeship that he would put to use later in life. Franklin earned a reputation as a hard worker and for his ethics. By 1729, he would begin publishing the Pennsylvania Gazette. It was through this newspaper that Franklin gained his reputation for his writing skills. In 1732, he began printing Poor Richard and Almanac. It was because of his great success in the printing business that Franklin was able to pursue his many interests. Franklin is known for his many inventions and his contributions to science. Some of the most significant contributions are the inventions of the Pennsylvania fireplace, later to be known as the Franklin stove, the discovery of electricity and the lightning rod, bifocals, medicine, specifically smallpox, and meteorology. For almost 20 years, from between 1750s and the 1770s, he spent time representing the colonies and later the states on a diplomatic mission to London. Franklin's first trip to Great Britain was in 1757, when he was sent to England by the Pennsylvania Assembly as a colonial agent to protest the political influence of the Penn family. Franklin spent an additional 11 years, 1764 to 1775, in London. Benjamin Franklin was the agent of several of the colonies in England. His purpose there, as an agent of Pennsylvania, was to obtain a royal charter for the colony. The other three colonies he represented were Massachusetts, New Jersey, and Georgia. He then ended up speaking out in opposition of the proposed Stamp Act. His activities on this issue were what led him to be appointed by those three other states. He was fast becoming one of the leading spokesmen for the colonies. He often argued in support of loyalty to the monarch, and he was always hopeful that the two sides could reconcile their differences and the colonies would and could remain within the empire. However, as events unfolded, he was slowly transformed from a loyalist to supporter of the cause of separation. The one event that cemented his switching of sides was the reaction of Parliament to the information that was obtained in the private letters of Thomas Hutchinson and Andrew Oliver. The letters were sent to Boston in December of 1772 and were published the following year. Bernard Kohlenberg, in his article Benjamin Franklin and Hutchinson Letters, states that these letters, therefore referred to as letters, bewailing the weakening of British control over Massachusetts and suggesting remedies, created a great stir in the province and had an important influence on the movement towards revolution there. Once news of the letters became public reached London, there was considerable speculation as to who had acquired the letters and then sent them to Boston. There were accusations and recriminations by Thomas Whately and John Temple. Eventually, there was a duel that was to redeem one of their honors. It was at this point, to prevent another duel, that Franklin comes forward to say that he was the one who had handled the letters. Kenneth Lawing Pennegar, in the book The Political Trial of Benjamin Franklin, asks, why would Franklin seek to do this, to stir up dissident and agitation where there was none? The agent had written that his purpose was to promote conciliation. Franklin confessing responsibility to these letters set the stage for his questioning before the Privy Council. Franklin, called before the Privy Council, stood silently and stoically, facing an embarrassing and humiliating examination by Solicitor General Alexander Wedderburn. The questioning caused him to make the final decision that the cause for reconciliation was gone. He was now a devoted patriot. The energies of Benjamin Franklin were no longer to be used or being used to keep the colonies in the British Empire. His loyalty to the crown was almost instantly changed. The exposure of the Hutchinson and Oliver letters and the scathing treatment Franklin received at the hands of the Privy Council caused Franklin to switch sides from being a loyalist to a strong revolutionary. This change gave the new American nation a respected envoy who would go to France and win the French over to the American cause and much needed military assistance that America wanted in its fight against Great Britain. Thank you.